Hi, I'm David Slentz from Data 443. I'm going to walk you through quickly the functionality of ARALOC on iOS, specifically on the iPad, and that includes viewing PDFs, annotations, sharing of those annotations. Now, essentially just a quick overview of the application itself. So what I'm going to do is just bring up the iOS application and then walk you through that. Okay, so you should be able to see the iPad at this time. I'm just going to go ahead and log into our demo account. And so you'll see here in the bottom left under the activity that the content is syncing in the background. So what happens when I first log in is that all the content that I have access to, it's downloaded onto my iPad. Just in the case I go offline, I'm able to still view that content. We do have offline viewing feature built into ARALOC itself. So that's a nice touch. If you're out off of Wi-Fi for a bit, you can still get access to your content. What I have here is a board sample agenda. I'm going to go ahead and open that up just by tapping on it. Brings up the agenda that we've built here. You'll see that we have a morning session and an afternoon session, and then content associated with each time slot. And all of this is fully customizable by the board admin on the management side. What I'm going to do here is just tap on one of these links here. It's going to go ahead and open up that PDF file for viewing purposes. And you'll see here, I have my typical pinch and zoom functionality that you're used to seeing in iOS, multi-page view. So we can go directly to a specific page that you'd like to see, those types of things. On the left-hand side, you'll see a little toolbox here with drawing tools. This is our Annotations Toolbox. Here's where I can draw annotations right on top of this document. I can then write an electronic note for each page. I could even share these out with members of the board or anyone else within my organization that has access to this content. So from an annotations perspective, I have some options here as well. I can choose the thickness of the line, normal, thin, or thick. I can add transparency to highlight items, and I get to pick the color of my choice. So what I'm going to do is just highlight a few items here just by showing you choosing the options that you want, and then using your finger to go ahead and highlight on the screen here, just simply like that, running your finger right across the text that you'd want to highlight, just like that. Very simple, very easy. I can go back and change that. I can go to a blue line. I want to do a thick line, but I want it to be no transparency, and call this out. Okay. Any type of annotations can be done right here on the iPad itself. Once I'm done doing that, I could also add an electronic note here, type note with the keyboard. Okay, we can add that. Make it a little bit more subjective here. Okay, and you could add any note or annotations for each page within ARALOC. Talking about sharing that across the enterprise here, I have the options to share this with any committee within my group, within my organization, or any single one user specifically. So I could easily share this across the enterprise with any of my associates. Bottom right here, if there was any annotation shared with me, I'd be able to overlay those right on top of this document and review those. And one last thing here in the bottom left, we have a bookmark option. This allows me to bookmark any pages that I want within this document, allowing me to go back to them very quickly. If I close out of here, you'll see that we have an update section built into ARALOC. This is going to give me an update on any new content I've been given access to, if my signature is required, those types of situations. Under board details, where you see your board, this is our communications section on iOS. This allows us to send instant messages either to a group of users or simply to one-to-one to another associate within my organization. We drill down on all materials. This is going to give me access to all of the content that I have been granted access to through the system. We're seeing all of the groups here. These groups will be limited strictly to those that I've been granted access to in a normal situation. Under e-signatures, this is where I can sign off on any policy or materials that warrant my signature. I have the ability to review that document, review the attestation text, and then sign off on it, all being recorded on the back-end management console there for auditing purposes by the manager. That's a quick rundown on the iOS side, basically viewing content, making some annotations, the e-signatures portion, all those features that come along with ARALOC Standard Edition. I appreciate you listening, and thanks so much. Hope you have a great day.